welcome back to episode 2 of the Desert Borealis Knitting Podcast. My name is Tasha, and I am the wife, mother, dyer, designer, knitter, all things creative of Desert Borealis. Here you found my YouTube channel, and I thank you for being here with me today. You can also find me on Instagram as @DesertBorealis and my Etsy shop, Desert Borealis Co. But I am most active here on YouTube. So today we will be talking about all my creative progress for the week of July 1st to July 5th. Now, I know it's not a complete week, but I'm still trying to figure out what day works best for me to record a predictable weekly podcast. And I'm thinking that Saturday mornings is going to work the best for me moving forward. So today is July 5th, 2025, and it's about 7:25 a.m. So let's just get right into it with finished objects. Today I have 3 finished objects to share with you, and 2 of them are socks and 1 is a hat. 2 of them you saw on the previous podcast, and 1 of them I didn't even talk about because I wasn't even going to work on it, but here we are. So first off, the socks. They are the socks that I was working on for my husband. And the first pair that I'm going to show you are just the regular vanilla socks for him. And this is done in Freckled Whimsy's Nature Palette Club for the month of April, I believe. And I used the mini skein that came with it for the cuff, heel, and toe. And let's see. Here's the second one. Now, with the second one, I did start running out of the mini, so I had to go through my extra and cut out the brown stripes so that I could finish off the toe. And as you can see, there was just a tiny bit that I had to go into the green color. But these are all finished, and I know I said that these didn't really have a deadline or anything, which they didn't, but I just wanted to get them done and finished. So that is finished object number 1. And the next finished object is the other pair of socks I was working on for my husband, which will be a pattern that I release sometime in the future, but I have no plans for that as of yet. So these are the 65456 socks in greens. All of this yarn right here is Cascade Heritage. I am not sure about any of the color names, except for the cream color right here. This is Macadamia. Now for my husband's socks, I knit them, well, all my socks I knit on a US size 2, which is a 2.75 millimeter. Yes. And for his, I do 80 stitches, 20 rounds of 2x2 ribbing for him, and then I think 70 rounds for the leg and 60 rounds for the foot before I start the toe decreases. Now, I am a very tight knitter, and with size 2 needles, I get about 9 to 10 stitches per inch. So I really love this color. The first pair that I made him of the 65456 socks was actually red, cream, and no, it was orange, red, cream, and brown maybe? I don't know. But I think I like these better because it's almost like a fade, but not quite. I know that I think this is moss, and then one of these is avocado, and I really don't know what the other color is. But I finished both of these for him. It was a lot of ends to weave in because I really don't like, I know it's possible to like carry the yarn. I could have carried the yarn through all these colors, but I would rather weave in ends than carry yarn through up rows any day. So it was quite a few ends to weave in, but I got it all done. And so now these are ready for him to wear. Finish object number 3 was the Summer Sun Hat by Wanapa Yunker. And I made the medium size, but after I blocked it, it just was way too big for me. And it kind of was more square than round, so it looked more masculine. And my son loved it, so I gifted it to him. And I will put pictures up here, maybe around this general area, of what it looked like before blocking and what it looked like after blocking. It just grew a lot. Like I said, I made the size medium. I'm usually a really tight crocheter, but I guess after blocking, it just relaxed everything and grew quite a bit. I may try to work this hat again using the recommended hook size, and also maybe making the size small, but I don't know. For the yarn that I used for it, it was Perfect Yarn raffia yarn in the color Natural. And it was a lot of fun to crochet. And actually, I think, besides blankets, okay, so it's my first crocheted article of clothing that I've made. So that was really fun to do. I've only done what I consider name blankets in the past, but yeah, so crocheted my first hat. It grew on me, so maybe I will try again. I think I used a 3.5 millimeter hook for that. Thursday, I posted a video all about my knitting goals for the month of July, and I kind of want to use the podcast to check up weekly on those goals to see how I'm doing and keep those goals forefront in my mind so that I can make progress on my goals. In the video, I technically have 11 whips. Those are all the whips that I have going on. I gathered up all of the project bags because they were just getting a little too overwhelming for me. Now I know that there's a lot of knitters out there that can handle a lot more whips than I can, but it's getting to be a lot mentally, so I've decided to just tackle them all and try to get my whip count down to 0. For the month of July, I am focusing on trying to finish 2 projects and make progress on 2 other projects. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. And I'm actually going to show you where I'm at, put a progress keeper in so that next week we can see how much, if any, progress I've made over the course of the week. So whip number 1 is going to be my January hedgehog fiber socks. Now, in my goals video, I talk about how I originally had this goal of knitting a pair of knitting a pair of socks using hedgehog fiber yarns in that month, and that didn't last long at all. Obviously, because I still haven't finished January socks. So let me just show those to you right now. These are in a bag that I made myself. So I know a lot of people may think that this is like a ginormous bag for socks, but this is actually the size that I prefer for knitting socks because I can fit my socks in here. I can fit, I don't know if you can see this. There's 2 pockets in here, but I can fit my socks in here very nicely. If I want to throw a notebook in there, I can throw that in there, anything. And it's easy for anybody in my house to find. It doesn't fall behind the couch easily. It can't be hidden. So this is a size of bag that I prefer for my socks. So this yarn is called Festival Fever, by Hedgehog Fiber. And I bought this from Wool & Company. And I believe that this color is an exclusive color for Wool & Company. So if you want this specific color, you can only get it on Wool & Company's website. But I just saw this way back and I thought this would be a really fun January color for like New Year's and fireworks at night and all the sparkly things. So I got this, and I had one sock that I finished in January, and then I just kind of lost steam on it because I started getting obsessed with another project. But I picked this up, and on my project planning for July video, this white marker right here is where I was. And so in 2 days, I have finished this much. I am all done with the leg. This is a 50 round leg, and I don't know if you can see it very well, but I have started the heel flap. And these socks are going to be for my daughter for Christmas. Let's see, 2.75 millimeter needles, 20 rounds of 2x2 for the cuff. This is a color that I dyed myself. And I love how it matches. I think it matches so well, the Festival Fever. So I'm on the heel flap on this. Like I said, these are going to be for my daughter. She likes a longer leg, where I don't. I prefer about 15 inch, whoa, not 15 inches, 15 rounds of ribbing, and then 30 or less of a leg before I get to my heel. And I think the reason why is I'm not fashionable. I love my skinny jeans, and I always forget to put on my socks before I put on my pants. So if I have a longer leg of a sock, then I can't shove them up the skinny jeans, and so I end up not wearing my hand knit socks. But if they have a shorter leg, then I can put on my pants, put on my socks, no problem, and go about my day. My daughter, she likes the longer leg, and she also likes like bootcut jeans, so she doesn't have the same problem that I do. But I'm hoping that I will be able to show some progress on this, even though I have made quite a bit of progress already on these. So those, this is my first project that I'm hoping to finish in the month of July. The second project that I'm hoping to finish in the month of July is my neon fade sweater. I started this sweater back in October of 2024, and I was using a mini skein fade set that I dyed up last summer called Lily's Favorite Amp. So this is what the body looks like, and you can see that I held 2 strands of fingering together, and what I did was I would use here, let me just get to the bottom. So I started with the darkest shade, and then what I did was I marled in the next shade, and then I would do solid color, and then I would marl and change so that it would kind of give a more even fade, I guess, to it. And I am obsessed with the colors. When I found this, I forgot that I had started this, so when I found this, I'm so excited to work on that. That's why this is my second project that I hope to finish in the month of July. And here's the sleeve. and it's the same thing. Now I think that I did the math right so that the colors on the sleeve should line up with slightly, maybe. Anyways, the hope is that the colors on the sleeve will hang about where the colors on the body are. So, and I'm just gonna do bare yarn for the top, the yoke, it's gonna be raglan at the top. So I'm really excited to work on this, and let me see. So this is just something that I'm designing as I go for myself, and I've created on the underarm at the beginning of round this 2x2 ribbing kind of faux seam, and I've also done that on the sides, on the underarms, for both sides of the body. So I just thought that was a fun little design, and this is going to be a comfy, oversized sweater that hopefully it can be like my pajama sweater. I'm really looking forward to that. So the goal for this is to have the sleeves joined to the body before next Saturday when I film the next episode of this podcast. Oh, and for this I am using 5.5 millimeter US size 8 needles, fingering weight, held double. So that is that. So the January hedgehog fiber socks and the neon fade sweater are the two projects that I'm hoping to finish in the month of July. I also have the goal of making progress on 2 of my other projects, and they're blanket projects, so they're bigger projects. In no way am I going to finish these, but I would like to be caught up with all of the yarn that I have been collecting for these blankets. So that is my goal, is to catch up on these projects. So first, oh, you know what I forgot to do? Hang on, pause. Okay. These are my progress keepers for the year. So what I want to do real quick is I want to go back through and put a progress keeper in the hedgehog fiber socks and the neon fade sweater so that I can see next week how much progress I've made. So month of July, progress keepers. And I have no idea where I got these, so, but we have this little, come on, oh, funness. A little, like, not being very cooperative. A little Vespa scooter. So I think that one is going to go on the neon fade sweater. You seem like a good spot to just put a progress keeper. Okay, there we go. Progress keeper is there. Now let's do some progress for this. Let's see. You know what? I want to put Psyduck on here. And put him right in the middle of the heel flap. Just like so. Okay, got him all caught up. Progress keepers. Achieved. Okay, northeasterly. I have made 0 progress on this since I showed you on July 1st. So it's at the same spot right here, 3rd row. So let's just insert our progress keeper here. And for this one, like it shouldn't be that hard. Yeah, I'm gonna put my little, oh, I'm not even showing the right side. I'm gonna put my little sundae there. I think one of my favorite things about watching knitting podcasts is everyone trying to get their progress keepers or their work into focus. It's always a fun little challenge. Oh, come on. Come on, Nelly. Boop. Okay. Progress keeper attached. So the goal for my northeasterly for the month of July is to work on this for 10 minutes a day. We're on July 5th. I haven't worked on it at all, so I think today I'm going to have to work on it for an hour to catch up. But my neon fade sweater is more calling me than these are. It's okay. With me, usually if I have something sucky, I usually work on that first, so then it's not looming over me. I know some people are like, oh, well, just work on the project that you want to work on first. No, because I will get stuck on that project and end up finishing that project, and then the project that I'm not so excited on will never get worked on. That's why I have 11 projects. Okay, next up is the triangulum blanket. This is just teeny tiny. The squares are, the squares, they're not squares, it's a triangulum blanket, it's triangles. But the triangles are tiny and I didn't make much progress on it, but here we go. So this is the triangulum blanket and I'll try to go through what yarns it is, but it's gonna be very limited in my knowledge. This is Ruby and Roses Wax Seal. This is Yarnaceous Fibers Haunted Roar. Cascade, I think in Primrose. These two are Lolo Did It from her Great British Bake Off Club. Cascade Lunar Rock, Great British Bake Off Club. Ruby and Roses Mini Skein Christmas set from 2023. But I love these little triangles. So this, I guess, would be my version of the coziest memory blanket because I just don't, I know this is not a popular opinion, but that's okay. I don't like the squares, the mitered squares for the coziest memory blanket that is very popular among other knitters. And so when I saw the triangulum blanket with these cute little triangles, I was for it because I really didn't know what to do with my scraps, but this is going to be fun. So how can I mark this? I know that this was the first color that I started with, so I think what I'm going to do is put my progress keeper in this triangle right here. Boop, boop, boop. I put it on backwards. Oh well. Put it in this triangle and we'll just see how many triangles I can get. I don't know how long I am making this yet, so I think that will be something hopefully I find out. Hopefully I can get one row done. And maybe even start on the next row if I can knit one triangle a day. I still haven't timed myself on how long it takes me to make a triangle, so that's something that I'm going to need to do. If I want to catch up, then that means I need to make 5 triangles today. I don't know if I'm going to do that. So it may just be a work from here type of thing, one a day. So I may have 31 squares at the end. Oh my goodness, triangles. They are triangles, woman. I may have 31 triangles at the end of the month, but I also may only have like 25. So we will see. And this whole bag, so this is a bag by Fate's Threads. Fate's thread, who's no longer in business. But this whole thing is just chock full of yarn. Like, seriously, the whole thing. So I'm definitely going to have enough to do more than 31 squares. Triangles! They are called triangles. 31 triangles. For the month. That is my goal, to make progress on this. Okay. Okay, so just a recap on my micro goals for this upcoming week. I want to join the sleeves to the body of my neon fade sweater. I want to work on my northeasterly blanket for roughly 10 minutes a day, and I would like to triangles, they are called triangles. I would like to make 1 triangle a day for my triangulum blanket. As for my January hedgehog socks, if I get to the heel flap, that's great, but I really want to put those aside and focus on my 3 other goals. Okay, that's all I have for episode 2. If you like this video, make sure that you hit the like button, leave a comment down below what your goals are for the month of July, and consider subscribing to the channel so that you don't miss any of my upcoming podcasts or tutorials. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you real soon. Bye!